Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. And this was a series idea that I never would have thought of by myself. So thank you to you guys. One of my fans suggested it. If I can find the comment, I'll put it up. And hopefully I can find it. But basically he said, "Oh my god, AwesomeTheSauce, you're so cool." No, he didn't say that. But he said, "My boy, you gotta make a Rate My Deck series." And I thought that was such a great idea because that could be a great way to interact with my fans, give my feedback. And I'm just gonna say this right away. I'm not exactly a deck expert, I'm really not. I just I'm into this game, so why not give my opinion on how your deck is, and maybe we can have some constructive feedback. Maybe we can have the author of the deck setup can write in the comments if I miss something. But basically the idea behind this series isn't for me to criticize anyone. It's to actually show the possibilities, okay? Because my decks, they're very standard, okay? And the strategies that exist, they're insane. And I just want to say, one of the biggest parts of this game is deck setup. A lot of people think that if you have full Malister gear and shalala, you're good. Nah, man, nah. You gotta be all strategic. You gotta use your mind and your brain particles. And yeah, okay. So let's start off with my boy Luke Death on Twitter. So he sent me this Death 1v1 deck, and before I even start, I just have to say I've taken direct advice from him on offensive death. So this guy, right now, I can tell he knows what he's talking about. But I'm gonna see what your deck's like, my boy. Yeah, okay. So it looks like my man's okay. He has 1 infoul in his main, 3 fortifies, which I think that's a really good balance. I really do, because as a death, you're gonna want to make sure that you can tank as much as possible, and for that, the fortify is an extremely good idea. Looks like he has a lot of set shields. And a cool thing that he does is that he actually has a lot more thermic shields, and that's a very important tip. That it's important, because like ice and fire, they out here, they represented, but he doesn't leave out the storm shield. I would put 1 more volcanic shield, but maybe that's just me. But one thing to note right here is that he does have a lot of blades on him. Okay, my man's has a lot of blades, and that's super important. Now, if we we'll go on to his side deck after this, but basically those sharpened blades, I haven't used them before, but I feel like it's a really good idea with the deck setup that he has specifically. Looks like he has a small number of dispels for the main schools, which is always important. He doesn't carry death dispels. Now, this might be because he's higher rank. I would recommend it before like 1,000, but I'm sure he's past 1,000 ranks, so that's probably why. Looks like he has a good number of strikes. He has 2 bad Jujus. Again, that's interesting because to me, and the Empower. It's interesting because to me, when I have blades up, it's extremely hard for me to do that, but it's also an extremely unexpected move. The same with the Spirit Blade. It looks like his main deck is super utility based. It looks like there's a very healthy balance of shields and dispels everywhere. I think if I were to make a change, and this is coming from someone who's not even as good as this guy in PvP, so maybe this change is bad, and you can tell me why. Those plus 10% shield enchants, I personally don't use them. I feel like they clog up your deck, because when you have a shield, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. I might be wrong there. And also, I think the Empower, I think there is 1 too many Jujus. I just think that it might be so situational that I would only use it so much, but those are really minor things. Overall, man, this deck is looking hot, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. It's looking hot. Alright, let's move on now, my man. This is to the TC section, and this is where, I'm just saying, this is what separates the men from the adult. What? Okay. So it looks like my man's has 2 stun blocks that are cloaked on him. I see you right now. That's such an awesome idea. I just gained so much respect for you with that cloak. A lot of people do it, but it's still pretty awesome. And it looks like he might be cloaking those thermic shields over there too, which is absolutely epic sauce if you do that. And he has other tower shields, so that's a good number of shields. I definitely think you need more TC blades, because I think it would be very helpful, but that's that's you know, using the thing that I don't think he has the Omen deck, so maybe he could use extra room for that if he wants to. Looks like he has a good number of attacks, which are this is what this kind of deck is, you know. It's offensive on the side, very utility based in the main. And honestly, you guys see like the shift spell right there? That's a fire shift spell. I had someone use a shift spell against me, and they were a death offensive build. And oh my god, I got demolished on ice against a death. It was so beautiful. But that's not the only thing my man has going on. He has poisons, which I haven't used at low rank, but I definitely will add on to my deck. And that's a super important thing. If you are following my Death 1v1 series, poisons are a great idea. I personally have more drains just as finishers. So as far as the ghoul and the vampire go, maybe more hits. But then again, like, his deck is so good that he might not even need it. That's the thing. You know, like, I feel like this is such a strong deck that I feel like, you know, that Death Scarab and the Red Ghost, like, he has one of each, so I'm not sure how easy it is specifically to pull it, but definitely including them is a good idea. You know, they're both situational, but they're super good. And my man, I'm so proud of you. He has, look at his Storm Beetles. Those, if I could take my guess, knowing him, I don't think those are like the ones that give the blade. Those are 0 pip hits, so he has wand hits. Now, why would he have that? It's because if you notice, he canceled out the death wand hits. Oh no, he did. He just has fewer wand hits in general because he's using the Malister wand. So to make up for it, he actually adds 2 wand hits in his side. They're off school, so it's awesome because if you're gonna blade stack, it's great. But man, and he has a Death Minotaur, and a Myth Banshee, 2 triages, and a stun. This is and a mantle. He has that mantle too, just in case the stun doesn't come up, or if he they stumble. So this guy, first impressions, I definitely think my man's knows what he's doing. I definitely think, like, even without, you know, knowing his, I know this, my man's, I know him, okay? But looks like he has, his bubble game is on point. I don't know what kind of bubble that is, that's the thing. So, but I'm assuming it's the 4 pip. I don't think it's Dooming Bloom, or maybe it's a combination in his main deck. But, you know, I gotta say, you know, I guess I gave a few criticisms, but I mean, I feel like that would be true with any deck, including mine. I definitely think his death setup is way better than mine. And I'm not saying copy these outright, you know, because that's kind of scummy, you know, you don't want to copy them outright. But definitely, things like those shift spells that he's using, such an awesome idea, such a great idea. And, you know, like, props, man. Like, this is what offensive death is all about. People need to realize that it's not just about the standard deck setup. If you have this kind of utility in your main, and you have so much flexibility in your side, you can really adapt to a ton of situations. So, I guess, I've been talking for 8 minutes, oh my god! I did not expect that to happen, I'm not gonna lie. But, yo, I'm excited for this series. No, I'm not gonna lie, this is legit. Like, just seeing things like shift spells and myth banshees and death minotaurs and storm beetles, like, this is a very strong deck setup. That's all I can say. So if I were to rate this deck, okay, I'm gonna be real with you right now. Out of like 10 Merle Ambroses, you get a 6.9. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. You get like a 9.7, man. That's what I'm giving you. A 9.7, because it's really good. I really like it. I just, personally, I think as a death, I would want more blades. That's like really my only major thing with it. And I'm not sure about the spirit blades, but I feel like this is a proven deck, and it works, and it's definitely better than mine. So if you guys want to look at what an offensive build is, this is a perfect thing. High rating, great start for the series. This guy is super OP for offensive death, and I'm sure all of you guys know it now. So yeah, stay awesome, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you like this idea. I'm excited mainly because I can interact with you guys a lot more. Like, if you guys want, I can probably just put the name of the deck that I'm working with. But, like, you know, if all these decks are this good, I'm not sure what the ratings are, you know, like, I'm going to be giving a 9.7 for everybody, you know? And the only reason I'm giving a 9.7 is because I feel like if I started off with a 10, you know, where am I going to go from there? I definitely think this is an extremely strong deck setup. So, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And I know it's just images, but I think it's a fun discussion. I don't know. You guys debate. I'm sure Luke Death will get involved in the conversation below. Listen to him on Death Offense TV. He's super good. obviously has an amazing deck. So with that being said, stay awesome, guys. Yeah!